What's up, guys? It's Analyst, and we are back again. This time, what we're doing is we're doing a Throne League team review. So, I don't know how long this video is going to be. Originally, I wanted this to be two different parts, but I'm just going to try to get it all done in one video, right? Because I really don't see a reason to break this down into multiple parts. So, we're going to start with our team, right? Our team, and I say our team because the Throne League consists of our followers picking our team for us. So, basically what I did is I had a group of guys in this war room, per se, and they would determine what players were put on the poll. We would put our preference on that poll, and against any of the other guys who we were debating at that turn. And you guys would vote. And the first player to get to 100 votes would be our pick. And this is ultimately how our team turned out, right? We had the 10th pick in the draft. So let's get into this. I'm going to break it down by position, right? So we're going to start with quarterback. We got Dak Prescott, and we backed him up with Daniel Jones. So I love Dak. We got into the 6th round. I believe it was a 603, which is amazing, right? To me, that's great value. Even though he's coming off a really, really bad ankle injury, he's still someone who I'm very much looking to target in this year's drafts. Apparently, he's looked good in camp this offseason. He's expected to be ready for the start of the 2021 season, so I have no problem getting Dak. The offensive line is better now, so yeah, I like Dak there. I think we got him at a great spot. Daniel Jones is a backup I don't hate. I probably would have rather someone like Tua who was available. Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan. I don't know if Matt Ryan was available, but someone like that. Ultimately, you never really need your backup quarterback other than when it's a bye week. So, and that's why we didn't get Kirk Cousins either, because he has the same bye week as Dak. So those are the quarterbacks. I like our quarterback group. Now let's go on to the running backs. Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Travis Etienne. We have David Johnson, and we have Chris Evans. So Aaron Jones was our first round pick. Picked him 10th overall. I keep yawning. I hate that I keep yawning here. But look, I mean, a lot of people have issues with Aaron Jones because of we don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play or not. I mean, really what it comes down to is that even if Rodgers doesn't play, Jones is going to be a fine running back, low-end running back 1, borderline running back 2. I mean, he's going to get a ton of volume. He's going to succeed off that volume. This is clearly a team that wants to use him. They just gave him a big contract. Jamal Williams leaves this gaping hole in Green Bay. So, yeah, I think Aaron Jones is going to be fine. No matter if Rodgers is there, we just have a guy who has top 5 upside at the position. So, if anything, it just gets better. Joe Mixon, you guys, if you followed anything I've made over the last year or two, you know I am huge on Joe Mixon. Yes, we've been burnt by him. We had the injury last year. The team isn't really built to give him the kind of workload we've been hoping for last year. But now they are. I mean, Giovanni Bernard is no longer there. He's going to get a ton of carries. The offensive coordinator said they don't want to take him off the field. He's got his old running backs coach back, who last time he was there, he had 4.9 yards per carry. They made minor improvements to that offensive line. So, overall, I think Mixon is going to be absolutely fine, especially as a running back 2. I wouldn't mind him as my running back 1, but as a running back 2, I'm very happy with that. Travis Etienne, we picked him in the beginning of the 4th round. The yawns. He's someone who I'm very high on. I've written an article on him. I've written multiple posts on him, and if I can get these little YouTube cue cards working, there's going to be a card that pops up right about now showing my article on Travis Etienne if you're curious to read more about it. But I think in PPR, I mean, his upside is Alvin Kamara, right? This is going to be an offense revolving around that running back room. James Robinson, he's going to have his touches, but ultimately Travis Etienne is going to be the one on the field with Trevor Lawrence, because we know Trevor Lawrence had T. Higgins in college for a couple of games, but for a couple of seasons, but ultimately his best weapon throughout his entire collegiate career was Travis Etienne, and he's the best pass catcher in the class, no doubt. PPR as a running back 3, he's got huge upside. I love it. Another PPR running back we got here, David Johnson. So, if I yawn one more goddamn time, David Johnson. Look, in PPR, the Texans are not going to be in a lot of positive, a lot of game scripts where they can run the ball, right? So a positive game script for a guy like David Johnson is when they're going to be passing, which is going to be a lot. They're going to be playing a lot of catch-up. Because guess what? Step 1, if Watsons does not play, 100% they're going to be in catch-up mode. Even if he does play, they're still going to be in catch-up mode, and that just means better things for David Johnson. So, I mean, worst case scenario, you have Tyrod Taylor, Davis Mills, or one of these other bums back there playing quarterback. Guess what? When it's that final stretch of the game, David Johnson might rack up 5 or 6 catches a game. Right? Say he takes that for 30, 40 yards. That's already 10 points. And then add in anything he does on the ground, which hoping at least could be 40 to 50 yards. That's, 10 to 15 points a game. So, I mean, I don't think that's bad as a running back 4. He wasn't awful last year either. So, as a running back 4 in the 10th round, I'll take it. Chris Evans. It's kind of unknown who's going to be the handcuff to Joe Mixon. But, yeah. Okay, just got a notification there, so just checking that out. But it's unknown who the handcuff to Joe Mixon is going to be. Some people think it's going to be Samaje Perine. Others are more so on the Chris Evans train. Evans has received a lot of hype as a pass catcher. So my feeling is if Joe Mixon goes down, then what's going to happen here is that Chris Evans is going to be the pass catcher and Samaje Perine is going to be the early down back. And who would I rather have in that situation? Like, easily Chris Evans, especially in PPR. So he's our handcuff for now. We got him in round 16. So whatever that amounts to be, it amounts to be. Wide receivers. Let's see. Someone put a yawn counter down below. I swear I sleep. I literally have not yawned the last 2-3 hours, and all of a sudden it's literally 7:30. Like, I go to bed at like 2 a.m, which I guess is why I'm yawning, but it's not bedtime. Someone keep a yawn counter down below. Wide receivers. Mari Cooper, we took him in the 3rd round. Love that value. He could be a potential wide receiver 1. He could be a potential top 5 wide receiver. So I'm very big on that. Tyler Boyd. Just did this huge breakdown on Tyler Boyd. Huge fan of him as a wide receiver 2 this year. He's going to get a ton of targets, even with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins there. He's underrated as a red zone threat. I mean, and you can get him in the 7th, 8th round, which is where we got him. Brandon Cooks, another guy who might see a 30% target share this year. I mean, Will Fuller left. They filled the void with a 3rd round rookie. I don't know. Brandon Cooks just seems like one of those guys who is going to eat off volume. Think about this. If the Texans throw the ball 35 times a game, which seems fairly likely with all the negative game scripts that they'll be in terms of having to play catch up and pass the ball, there's a chance Brandon Cooks gets like 10 to 15 in that, and David Johnson gets like 7 or 8. Obviously, it's not ideal having 2 Texans on like a really bad team, but overall, I mean, volume alone, we got Brandon Cooks in the 8th round as our wide receiver 3, and what you'll see in a second is we backed him up with a ton of good upside receivers. So Elijah Moore, he's just, I know he's a rookie, and I know there's Jamison Crowder there, Denzel Mims, Corey Davis, whatever. But he's really in a position where he could finish top 20. Where he could finish top 20 at his position. And the reason for that is he's already got the established chemistry with Zach Wilson. They've been doing great with each other in practice. They're going to line him up all over the field. He's going to be X, Y, Z, whatever letter of the alphabet you want to say. He's going to be playing around the field at receiver. Adam Gase no longer there, so he's not going to be... And it's not Sam Darnold either, so we're not just going to see Zach Wilson target the slot 10 times a game, which is where Jamison Crowder would come in. He's going to spread the ball a little more evenly, and right now Elijah Moore really has the chance to be the number one weapon on this team. If that happens, he could be top 20. Watch out for that. Remember where you heard it. Henry Ruggs, another guy who I'm starting to get more and more high on. He was actually number one in separation last year. So he's going to his sophomore year. Last year with COVID, he was barely on the field. And now next year, he's going to be part of that every down series. And Nelson Aguilar, in a similar role last year, had over 800 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. So I think there's a world where Henry Ruggs gets over 1,000 and maybe racks up 6 or 7 touchdowns, which would be plenty to return value as to our 11th or 12th round draft pick. Gabriel Davis, if Stefon Diggs ever goes down, potential wide receiver 2. Otherwise, I think he's got good upside playing on the outside next to Diggs. I know Emmanuel Sanders has been talked up as the wide receiver 2 of this team. But Emmanuel Sanders traditionally plays in that slot role. That's where Cole Beasley lies. Both these guys are in their 30s. I think right now Gabriel Davis has the highest upside out of all of these receivers, not named Stefon Diggs. So he's someone who you can't hurt to have on your bench. We have a lot of guys from, I don't want to say weak offenses, but more so unknown offenses with Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, Henry Ruggs, whatever. So we wanted to switch it up and get a guy who's going to be on a good offense. Can't hurt to have on your bench. Traquan Smith, if it's Jameis Winston starting, Traquan Smith is someone who might be intriguing. I mean, Winston's got that arm. Traquan Smith has got that deep playability. So I think, it can't hurt this late. Plus, Jameis Winston had one throw last year in the playoffs, and that was a 50 or 60-yard touchdown to Traquan Smith. So, take that for what it's worth, but overall, can't hurt as our, I think it was second to last pick. Tight end, TJ Hockenson. There's about over 300 vacated targets in Detroit right now, and I know vacated targets are kind of subjective, especially when you have other guys coming in to take those targets. But in the situation in Detroit, there isn't really anyone else coming in to take those targets, right? They lost Marvin Jones, they lost Kenny Golladay, lost Danny Amendola, and Brashad Perryman is no Golladay. Tyrell Williams is no Marvin Jones. There's no one else to come in and take those targets. So this is a chance TJ Hockenson sees Darren Waller type targets, which is 140 to 150 targets next year. Especially, again, this is a bad team that's going to be playing from behind a lot. TJ Hockenson is going to be the guy if they can reach the end zone. And with Jared Goff, we've seen him make both Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp fantasy relevant in the past. All we're asking out of him is for one guy, TJ Hockenson, which I think is very doable. Hunter Henry, we were targeting someone like Adam Troutman as our backup. Expert ended up snagging him, I believe. So it is what it is. I'm not overly excited about Henry, but he's not bad depth with his upside as a player. So that's our team. What would you rate my team? What would you rate our team here? This is 100% bias, right? So much bias here. I think we have good depth at both running back, tight end, quarterback. And I think our wide receivers, although it is clearly our weak spot, we have plenty of high upside guys who could come in and become weekly starters as the season goes on. So I'm going to give us an A minus. That's what I'm going to give us here because I truly like how the team came out. I think they're a couple picks later I would have made. Ultimately, I did want Tyreek Hill instead of Aaron Jones early on, but I'm still very much happy with how this team turned out. So we're going to start up here. I'm going to try not to be as lengthy with my explanations for the other teams, but we're going to start with the expert here. And look, I'm not going to go easy on these guys either. These are all big boys. If I don't like a team, I'm going to say I don't like a team. But yeah, we're just going to go over this pretty quickly. Quarterbacks for expert. He's got Aaron Rodgers, He's got Matt Ryan. Okay, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, then you have another guy who's capable of potentially putting up those 30-point games. Yeah, I like that. I like that quarterback grouping here. Running back wise, he's got Chris Carson, David Montgomery, Chase Edmonds, Zach Moss, Latavius Murray, and that's about it. So good depth. I love the Zach Moss pick here, and the fact that he went Stefon Diggs and Devontae Adams in the first 2 rounds, and then he was able to still get Chris Carson, David Montgomery, Chase Edmonds, and Zach Moss, I think is fantastic. So I love his running backs right here. Although he doesn't have that standout running back 1, he's still got pretty strong assets no matter what. Latavius Murray as his 5th running back, decent depth. If Alvin Kamara ever goes down, then he's got another running back 1 potentially. So I like that a lot. I like his running backs. He probably didn't need one later, but that's all right. Wide receivers, Stefon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Tyler Lockett. I love that trio as well. It seems like Expert really weighted on quarterback and then he really weighted on tight end, which is going to be his weak spot. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, Stefon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Tyler Lockett, how could you not like that? I think it's his wide receiver depth takes a little bit of a hit here too, because if any of these guys are injured, you're relying on a guy like T.Y. Hilton to come in and produce that week, or bye week, whatever it might be. And I just don't have faith that T.Y. Hilton can come in and do that. I mean, he's another guy who's been injured a ton. Is he really going to go back to his old form with Carson Wentz? I guess there's a world where he does, but ultimately I'd want a safer wide receiver 4. I know not always easy to do, but it is what it is. Other wide receivers, he's got 3 rookies: Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terrace Marshall, Amari Rodgers. Hey, worst case, go rookies. Get that upside. I'm not as big as Amon-Ra St. Brown as some other people are. 4th round rookie. None of these wide receivers are going to see enough work to really be fantasy relevant. And if they are, then maybe it's a hot hand thing. Maybe one week it's Quintez Cephas, another week it's Tyrell Williams, another week it's Brashad Perryman. It's just a cluster of not great players, and I don't think Amon-Ra is talented enough or has high enough draft capital to where he's going to command that wide receiver 1 role. There's a world where he does, and I understand the upside of drafting a rookie, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to make that investment. I would have gone for some other wide receivers that are available later. Terrace Marshall, not bad, but same story of he's got DJ Moore in front of him. He's got Robbie Anderson in front of him, who had a ton of targets last year. He's got Christian McCaffrey, most importantly, coming back, who's going to be in front of him. And he's got Sam Darnold throwing to him. So that's all pretty messy there. Amari Rodgers, I do like this pick for, I believe it was his last pick. High upside if Devontae Adams gets hurt. If Aaron Rodgers plays, you have someone who could potentially turn into a wide receiver 3 or emergency flex player or whatever you need. So I like that. I like that a lot. Tight ends, Adam Troutman, Gerald Everett. No one who really excites me. He wasn't able to get any of those top 10, top 12 tight ends. So he's got to deal with upside here. This is something we've seen Expert do in the past. Hasn't really worked out for him then. But, I don't hate this. I don't. I'm hoping one of these guys can become, or at least he's hoping one of these guys can become consistent, and then he'll have a consistent player there. But that's definitely going to hold him back. So what's really holding him back here is going to be his wide receiver depth and his tight ends. And obviously, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, that pretty much really hurts his chances with Adams. And he's going to have to start Matt Ryan. So high upside team. I do like it. I'm going to give him an A-. So we had a A/A-. I'm going to give him an A-. All right, Smitty, what's going on here? So Smitty, I believe he had the 4th or 5th overall pick. I believe it was 4th. I believe he was picking 4th. Expert, by the way, picked 12th overall. He had the last pick in the round. So Smitty picked, I believe it was 4th. Quarterback-wise, he's got Josh Allen and Trey Lance. I like Trey Lance. I don't know if you really need Trey Lance with Josh Allen, but at the same time, you got him late. He'll be he could be great when Josh Allen has that bye week. So it may be a situation where it's not even like Josh Allen's on a bye. You have a guy who's going to come in and get a ton of fantasy points that week no matter what. So, I definitely don't hate it. Don't hate it at all. Just very strong quarterbacks. Running back wise, Alvin Kamara, Javonte Williams, Trey Sermon, Alexander Madison, Devin Singletary. Oh no, Elijah Mitchell. Okay. This is where you went wrong, Smitty. I love Javonte. I love Javonte where you got him. But I don't know. I would have... Javonte would have been a great pick there if you already had another running back. So if Javonte was your running back 3/flex, I'd love that. But as running back 2, early on, I think ultimately, end of the year, Javonte is going to be a guy who could be a potential league winner, right? He's going to be a guy who's going to be... I think we'll have like a Jonathan Taylor type season to where he kind of starts out a little slow but catches his groove towards the end of the year. Melvin Gordon, in that same respect, might start out the year as a starter for the first half and then see less of a role as Javonte takes more of a role later on. But even so, with Javonte Williams taking on that larger role later in the year, it's not like Melvin Gordon's going to disappear unless he gets suspended or whatever. So I'm not huge on Javonte as your weekly running back 2. And then to top it off, you got Trey Sermon as your running back 3, which is pretty awful. That's really, really bad, dude. It's going to be in obvious hot hands in San Francisco between Mostert, Sermon, you name it. You got Wayne Gallman, you got Jeff Wilson when he returns, Elijah Mitchell. I mean, you just got so many different guys. Kyle Juszczyk, who gets a ton of receptions. So, yeah, I mean, I don't trust Sermon with any fiber of my being. Not sure when you picked him, but because of the fact that he's starting in your flex right now, it makes me think you picked him a little high. Yeah, dude, that's just going to be so inconsistent. I'm sure he'll have a good game here and there, but overall, I just hate these running backs right now. And then somehow it gets worse, right? Like Alexander Madison here. I normally wouldn't hate that, but the Vikings just drafted a running back in the 3rd round this year. So I think if Dalvin Cook does get hurt again, it may not absolutely be Madison as the handcuff. Because Madison, when Dalvin's been hurt, Madison's either also been hurt or he just hasn't performed well. I remember when Dalvin was hurt and everybody threw in Madison and like paid up a ton of fab, and then he totally flopped that week. And obviously that's a fantasy football perspective. But overall, I mean, I think there's a reason they spent a 3rd round pick on a running back. So I just don't think Alexander Madison is guaranteed to be the handcuff there, which really worries me. Devin Singletary, he got benched for TJ Yeldon last year. I think Zach Moss is going to take over this backfield. It's still not going to be a lucrative backfield to buy in, and Devin Singletary does have some PPR upside, and especially if Zach Moss gets hurt. Singletary was being used as sort of like a workhorse last year, but I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not. Elijah Mitchell was someone who I was targeting pretty late in our team. We didn't end up getting him. Just kind of a, see what happens type deal if he has any week-to-week value. If not, you can drop him, but I don't hate that pick. But yeah, running backs are just not looking good, Smitty. I hate to say it. And then let's look at the wide receivers here, see if you can make up for some of that. You got Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Jerry Jeudy. I like that. I like that trio. Curtis Samuel, not bad. I think people are overestimating how good Ryan Fitzpatrick is, and that's for another time. Rondell Moore, he's kind of stuck behind Christian Kirk and AJ Green. He's going to have to carve out a role, so I don't know how good of a depth piece that is. Jamison Crowder, the only reason he's on that team is because he took a pay cut. I don't know if he's necessarily really going to be involved. Paris Campbell, I do like Paris Campbell pick. I think he's going to end up being your next best wide receiver after Samuel. But again, another guy who's been injured and we don't really know what his role is. So wide receiver depth, not looking great. Running backs, not looking great other than Kamara. Quarterback looking fantastic. Tight end, Noah Fant, and no backup, of course. So, oh gosh. I like Noah Fant, but when you have to rely on him and Jerry Jeudy on a week-to-week basis with Drew Lock starting, no, I don't like that. I mean, end of the year, these are both guys who I do like, but I don't know, man. I don't know if Lock's got it in him or Teddy's got it in him. That's just a lot of questions with this team. I'm gonna give this team like a C plus. Honestly, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm not going easy on these boys. They're big boys. Maybe Smitty will get back at me later. That's fine. I just think this is pretty bad. Wolf. We got Lamar Jackson at quarterback. No backup. That's fine. If he needs to stream for that bye week, that's fine. I like Lamar. Running backs, we got Saquon. You're gonna have to be careful with that. Clyde Edwards, high upside running back too. I like that pick a lot. Ronald Jones. Yeah, as your 3, why not? You're gonna have to rely on him having some good games on the ground, but I do like that. Savon Ahmed. If Myles Gaskin gets hurt, then maybe Ahmed has a chance at a bigger role. But unless he gets hurt, Ahmed might just be a little bit more of an early down guy. So I kind of see that as a mid to low upside depth piece. Devontae Booker handcuffed to Barkley. Sure, why not? Maybe he turns into a flex, especially with Wayne Gallman gone. So I don't hate that. Damian Williams, don't really see the point of that pick here. There's already Tariq Cohen. There's already David Montgomery. It's going to take an injury for both these guys for Damian Williams to even be startable. I know he's a decent talent, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of a waste of a pick here. Wide receivers, Terry, Mike Evans, Juju. I don't hate, I'm not as big on Juju as others. As your 3, I don't hate it. I don't know who else was available at that time, but that's fine. Mike Williams, I do like Mike Williams. Kind of growing on me a little bit more. He could be weekly flex play. Who knows? But, there's been a lot of hype around Mike Williams every single year, and he hasn't performed. So, we'll see. Devontae Parker. I might even start Parker over Williams in that first week with Will Fuller gone and Jalen Waddle just starting out. So, yeah, I think Parker week 1 start. After that, completely up in the air. Rashad Bateman, one of those believe in the talent, just pick him and see what happens kind of plays. I respect that. AJ Green, pick him in the very end of your draft. See if he can have some sort of reemergence in Arizona in a pass-heavy offense. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Either way, I don't really hate that late into the draft. Tight ends, he's got Mark Andrews and Jonnu Smith. Jonnu, I'm not overly excited about, but I understand him being a backup. Mark Andrews, I'm not as high on him as I was the years before. But hey, a Lamar and Mark Andrews stack is pretty good. So I like this team, Wolf. I don't think it has any glaring holes. Your weakness is going to be your flex. But you're going to be competing for sure with that quarterback and the tight end. So I'm going to put you in that A- sphere. I'm going to put you in that A- sphere with expert. Thinking about B+. So, okay, well, expert over here, if Rodgers doesn't play, this is a B+. If, maybe like a B. If Rodgers doesn't play, this is like a B+. And Wolf, he's just got an A- no matter what. So, right now, my team rankings are us, then Wolf, then expert, then Smitty. And obviously, there's so much bias from my own team, but that's fine. Fantasy Couch, the champion from last year, Fantasy Couch. He won the league. I won the league the first year. We won the league. That's what I meant. But, yeah, man. I mean, we're the only 2 winners, so let's see what he came up with. Tom Brady's his quarterback. I like that. He doesn't really have a backup quarterback, which is fine. Again, if you need to stream that week, or am I missing it? No, he doesn't have a backup. That's fine. Dalvin Cook, Myles Gaskin, good start. Michael Carter, I like Michael Carter as, if you can get him as your 4th running back, that'd be ideal. He may not be usable early on, but you can always flex Jarvis Landry if you need to. So yeah, Michael Carter, I do like that. Naheem Hines, worst case PPR, maybe he's got a few games here and there. I don't hate that. Chuba Hubbard, if Christian McCaffrey goes down again, Maybe he turns into a running back one like Mike Davis did last year. And then he tops it off with James White. James White, PPR. If Mac Jones is starting, I do like him better. But right now, Cam Newton is not going to get enough volume for him to be usable. So, not a huge fan of James White. But that late, I understand it. Jeff Wilson, he drafted him and then threw him in his IR spot. Hey, zero risk in doing that. Zero risk in doing that. Jeff Wilson was the wide receiver one in San Francisco in the last few games. So I love that move. I like that move for Couch. Looking at the rest of these wide receivers, we got DK Metcalf, we got Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith. Fantastic group of wide receivers. He's got Jarvis Landry. I'm not really high on. Marvin Jones, who could be hit or miss. John Brown, who I'm not high on. Tyrell Williams, depth, why not? His starting wide receivers are great, but his depth is not great at wide receiver. I wouldn't have picked Landry here. I don't know when he got him. I think he got him pretty late, though. Tight end wise, he's got Darren Waller. He's got the tight end, too. He's got Gronk and Brady, which is historically never a bad thing, and Gronk had a few games here and there, so as a backup, I don't hate that. Yeah, I like this team. I mean, at its very best, when Carter's startable, you've got a really solid starting group. Obviously, just that wide receiver depth is really where you're hurting. That flex spot is going to be a little bit of annoying for you. But I think you'll be able to make it work with guys like Marvin Jones and whoever. So, Couch, I'm deeming you. Do I like Couch's team better than Wolf? Oh, that's tough. Because he's got DK and he's got Dalvin. He's got Saquon and Terry. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give... So, Couch, I'm going to give an A-. I'm going to put him in the A- realm, but I do like his team better than I like Wolf's team. So, it's going to be... My rankings right now, I'm going to move Couch over Wolf. State of mind. State of mind. What we got going on here, Rob or Dom or Dylan or whoever is running this team. Kyler Murray at quarterback. I like that. Justin Fields is a backup. Why not? High upside backup. I'll take it. Ezekiel Elliott, Josh Jacobs. I don't really understand the Josh Jacobs pick. I think he picked him pretty early into the 4th round. I'd rather have Gaskins. I'd rather have Mike Davis as his running back too. So I'm not huge on Josh Jacobs this year, but all right, let's go with it. Leonard Fournette, not huge on Leonard Fournette too. I think Giovanni Bernard is going to come in and take a lot of Fournette's passing down work. I think that's in the realm of possibilities. And then Rojo is just going to own all the groundwork. So I don't know if Fournette's someone who I'm necessarily looking at. Gus Edwards, more depth, why not? Joshua Kelly, from all the reports we're hearing, apparently Justin Jackson is on the roster bubble. He may not make the team, which makes Joshua Kelly the backup to Austin Ekeler. So, in that case, I don't hate that pick as your very last pick. So, running backs, a little weak, outside of Zeke, of course. Wide receivers, Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas. Fantastic set of 2 wide receivers. T. Higgins as your 3. Absolutely love that. Antonio Brown in your flex is absolutely killer. He was really the wide receiver 1 in Tampa end of the year. And he's being taken in the 7th, 8th round, which is nuts. Marquise Brown, love that pick as like a later high upside guy, maybe a matchup type guy. Jacoby Myers, I love this Jacoby Myers pick. I wanted to take him on our team so badly. So you killed it in the wide receiver group. That does make up for the running backs, and you still have decent running back depth. So yeah, you absolutely killed it with these wide receivers here. Tight end, he's got Logan Thomas, he's got Robert Tonyan. That's great. I mean, I love Logan Thomas. If you miss out on those top tight ends, he's the best guy available for you to take. He could still have a tight end 1 season easily. Robert Tonyan, if Aaron Rodgers plays, you got 2 guys you can rotate. Maybe you can put one of them on the flex if you're really desperate. But I really like this team. I like this team. I think the running back 2 kind of throws me off a little bit with Josh Jacobs, and then, the depth is whatever. But I still do like this team. I'm going to give State of Mind an A/A minus. I'm going to put him in the same range as us, which is going to put him... So I would... I'm still going to say I like our team the best. Then it's going to be State of Mind. Then it's going to be Couch. Follow it up with Wolf. Follow it up with Expert. Finish it off with Smitty. Sorry, Smitty. Alright, let's see if we can get moving here. We got 6 more teams. We're about halfway done. I have no idea how long it's been. I don't have a timer with me or anything, but let's keep doing this. Prophet. He had the number... Oh, by the way, he had the State of Mind had like the number 5. I think he had the 6 overall pick. Couch had the number 2 overall pick. Wolf had the number 5 overall pick. Yes, that's how that went. And Prophet had the number 1 overall pick. So Prophet's quarterback situation. He's got Ryan Tannehill, Trevor Lawrence. Not bad. That's a great duo. I like that duo. Running back wise, Chris McCaffrey. Ooh, J.K. Dobbins as his 2. By the way, he took J.K. Dobbins in the second round. If you switch that and you say he took A.J. Brown in the second and then just call it J.K. Dobbins in the third, it doesn't sound as bad, but I still would have easily taken J.K. Dobbins in the third and then A.J. Brown in the second. No matter the case, J.K. Dobbins is your 2. He's going to be inconsistent, but that's not terrible. Kenny Galladay, that's not bad. Adam Thielen, also not bad. You're going to bank on Kirk Cousins being as efficient as he was last year. Oh, wait, let me do running backs. I'm skipping around here. Raheem Mostert, I might puke. Ooh, okay, so this is really where Prophet fucked up. This is really where Prophet messed up. All right, so he's got J.K. Dobbins as his 2, which is going to be inconsistent as it is. Raheem Mostert as his 3, which is absolute dog crap. I mean, he is going to be hot hand. Trey Sermon, if anything, might be the 1 there, but I'm still not in on Trey Sermon. So I am totally staying away from Mostert as your 3. That's awful. And then he tops it off with his only other running backs being Ramondre Stevenson, who's not even going to have a role as a rookie, and then LaMichael Pirine, who I'm still not even confident is going to make the team, nevertheless have a role on the team. So, yeah, his running back depth after Chris McCaffrey. Chris McCaffrey got hurt too. If Chris McCaffrey gets hurt, your team is absolutely screwed. Your running backs are going to be awful this year. Your running backs are almost worse than Smitty's. It's not worse than Smitty's, but they're pretty bad. So I am not liking these running backs. Kenny Galladay, A.J. Brown, Adam Thielen. Love A.J. Brown. Kenny Galladay I do like as your 2. Adam Thielen is your 3. Definitely vibe with that. Chase Claypool is your 4. Love that. Will Fuller, why not, as your 5. Michael Gallup as your 6. Sure. Nelson Aguilar. Would have picked someone else there. Denzel Mims. Sure, late round value maybe, but wide receivers are pretty strong. Tight end, he's got Dallas Goedert, and that's it. He's going to have to stream tight end, which is going to be kind of shitty. Okay, Prophet. I like you, bud, but I don't know. I don't know about these running backs. He's got very strong wide receivers. Starters as a whole are pretty strong. I'm going to give you a B, borderline B+. A B, borderline B+. That's the area we're in right now. All right, and I'm just gonna go over final rankings at the end. Nation, what we got? We got quarterback Matt Stafford. That's fine. That's good. He's got Joe Burrow backing him up. That's great. I'm seeing Blake Bortles down here. Just give him a little screen time. Yeah, there you are, Blake. I think that's just last year Blake Bortles won the vote as a joke, so it's just tradition to keep drafting him as his last overall pick, which is fine. That's a cool tradition. So that's funny. So Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow, we'll just talk about those 2. Those are great, 1 and 2. Probably didn't need to, I don't know how early he drafted Joe Burrow, but you definitely didn't need to put that high of an investment in a backup to Matt Stafford. So Hoping he didn't have to spend too high of a draft pick on that. Running backs, he's got Ekeler, he's got Swift. That's fantastic. Melvin Gordon, and then Darrell Henderson, and then Tevin Coleman. Ugh. Yeah, so Melvin Gordon, not a fan of. Not a fan of. Like I said, end of the year, he's just going to be not usable with Javonte taking over most of that backfield. Darrell Henderson, when Cam Akers was really starting, Darrell Henderson was really just an afterthought. He's not going to be a consistent week-to-week value like he was early in the year last year. Tevin Coleman, absolute garbage, absolute dog shit. He had 1.9 yards per carries with the 49ers last year. So I don't know what the expectation is for him on the Jets. But so outside of Ekeler and Swift, his depth is pretty bad. Wide receiver wise, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, I love that. Odell Beckham Jr., kind of a shaky 3, but high upside. Jalen Waddle, Corey Davis, those are, fine plugins if Odell is not available. And then he just has Darius Slayton later, which I'm not really vibing with. So, okay. Tight ends, he's got Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram, that's fine. I like that. I like that a lot. So, Nation, starters aren't bad. I'm not vibing with this team as much as some of the others. I'm gonna give you, because I think Prophet has a, I think Prophet has a better starting roster at its very best. Because your flex is gonna be your running back depth. Maybe your third wide receiver position is gonna be a little bit of an issue for you. Your starting running backs and your starting receivers is gonna be fine. I'm gonna give you a B. I'm gonna put you right behind Prophet here. Guru Nation. I'm looking at this team really quickly. There are things I do like, are things that I'm not too high on. Normally me and Guru have some disagreements, but let's see. Quarterback Russell Wilson, love that. He's also got Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. So whoever wins that quarterback battle in New Orleans is going to be starting for Guru. I love that. I mean, with your 16th pick, why not, right? Running back wise, Nick Chubb, Najee Harris, great 1 and 2. Mike Davis is your 3, love that. Love having Mike Davis as your 3. AJ Dillon is your 4, that's great. Phillip Lindsay, I understand liking the upside, but again, this is going to be a situation where game script is never going to be in Lindsay's favor. I'm sure he might have a couple games throughout the year where he's able to do well enough on the ground, but I don't think he's ever really going to be startable this year. But yeah, I definitely understand the upside there, so I don't hate that as this 5 at all. So running backs are good, quarterbacks are great. Wide receiver, he's got Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin. I'm not big on DJ Chark at all. I think I talked to him about it. He feels like Chark can be the wide receiver 1 there, which is fine. I just don't think he will. So it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. It could potentially be a little bit of a struggle here with the wide receiver 3. But again, he's got upside guys like Deebo Samuel, Russell Gage, McCole Hardman. So I like that. Wide receiver depth isn't bad. Tight end wise, he's got Irv Smith and he's got Zach Ertz. That's going to be a little bit of his weak spot. Irv, he's got potential to be a tight end 1 this year. Zach Ertz, there's a lot of trade rumors swirling around. If he ends up like somewhere like Buffalo or Indianapolis, maybe he makes a comeback as a low-end tight end 1. So, as a backup, I don't hate that either. So, overall, I like Guru's team. I like it. DJ Chark is throwing me off a little bit. Some inconsistencies at tight end. But overall, great depth. So, I'm going to give Guru an A-. I'm going to give Guru he's going to be like A- to an A. Kind of in that territory. So, good job there, Guru, at least. And this is all my opinion, by the way. All right, let's look at Fantasy Beast. His team. Last year, I think he won the Experts League. So, let's see how he did here. Quarterback, Justin Herbert. Love that. Watson with his second to last pick. Hey, I mean, if he plays, sure, why not? If he doesn't, then you drop your 15th round pick. No harm, no foul. Derrick Henry, Antonio Gibson, fantastic 1 and 2. James Conner. Oh, that's his running back 3. But, he kind of makes up for it with McKissick and Williams as guys who in PPR can be serviceable if needed. He's also got the handcuff to Derrick Henry as well. And J.D. McKissick also the handcuff to Antonio Gibson. So he played his running backs smart. He's got them all handcuffed and everything. I just don't. I think he likes James Conner. I just don't at all. He can't stay healthy. Maybe he has the goal line role, but at the same time, you're going to bank on him scoring a touchdown and then what? Touchdown and 6 points. What else is he going to do? It's going to be Chase Edmonds. So I'm not a huge fan of James Conner at all. He got paid like $2 million to be there. So if he's banking on him as his flex play, I am not about it. But the rest of his running backs are pretty good. Wide receivers, Robert Woods, Deontay Johnson. Love that pair. Sutton as your 3. I'd rather have Judy and maybe some other guys who might have been available. I'd rather have Antonio Brown than Cortland Sutton as my 3, to be honest. I'm not sure if he was available or who else was available, but not really feeling the Sutton pick. Darnell Mooney, he could end up being his flex or wide receiver 3 when the year is all said and done. Jalen Reagor with Devontae Smith there, I'm not too high on. Kadarius Toney, not really high on at all. Rashad Perriman, Like I said, none of these Lions receivers are going to be good enough to intrigue me. Tight end, he's got George Kittle and no backup. So, ultimately, what do I think about this team? I want to say A-, because he did cover his corners pretty well. I mean, he's got McKissick, Williams, but his wide receiver depth is not great. I'm going to say B+, A-. He's kind of in that fringe A- type deal. So, yeah. All right, we got the football fix. So, Fix and his squad decided to go all Kansas City their first 3 picks. They got Tyreek Hill, followed up with Travis Kelce, followed up with Patrick Mahomes. And that alone is a huge advantage. That's nuts. So we're going to see how he filled out the rest of his team here. Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt. For getting quarterback, wide receiver, and tight end as his first 3 picks, those are good 1 and 2s. Damian Harris is his 3. That's awesome. Tony Pollard, depth piece, sure. Tariq Cohen, Marlon Mack, depth pieces, sure. Rashad Penny, another depth piece. Surprisingly, his running back depth is pretty good. I don't mind Harris as his 3. I don't mind that at all. He's got enough here to cover it. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill. He's got Jamar Chase. He's got Robbie Anderson. Great set of 3. Michael Pittman, upside receiver. Cole Beasley, PPR, upside. Christian Kirk, another upside receiver. So yeah, wide receivers, not bad. Obviously, depth might be a little bit of an issue, but Cole Beasley and Michael Pittman should be very serviceable. Travis Kelce, as you know, awesome. Tyler Higbee is a backup. I mean, look, for having Mahomes, Hill, and Kelce, that might be like, let's see, Mahomes on like a good week is going to get you 30, let's call it 35. Tyreek Hill on a great week could get you like anywhere upwards of 50, but for argument's sake, let's call it like 25, and then Kelsey's kind of the same route. I mean, from those 3 alone, he can get 85 to 90 points a week. And then you just add in Sanders, Hunt, Chase, Robbie. I'm giving Fix an A. I'm putting him above me. I'm putting him above State. It's very risky going Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce. If Mahomes gets hurt, it's probably not even gonna hurt Kelce or Hill that much. So yeah, I'm gonna put Fix above us. I like that team a lot. All right, we got fantasy football rapper. We got Rapper's team here. He's got Jalen Hurts. Love that. Zach Wilson and Carson Wentz. He's got 3 quarterbacks. Okay. 3 quarterbacks. 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 3 quarterbacks don't really understand getting 3 quarterbacks, but okay, do your thing. But yeah, Jalen Hurts is great as a starter. Wilson or Wentz, I'm sure, would be fine as a backup. Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers, very good starting 2. James Robinson as a 3. I'm not excited about that. I know he wasn't either. He was not happy with his pick as his 3. But he's got Kenyon Drake, Kenneth Gainwell is a potential PPR upside guy. Wayne Gallman in San Francisco, can't hurt to take a shot at him. So his running back 3 is a little weak, but his running backs 1 and 2 are great, so I'm not too worried. Wide receiver wise, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, that's all fantastic. Fantastic group of wide receivers. Laviska as his 4, I like that. Van Jefferson as his 5. I probably would have went for someone with more upside. So I don't really like that pick. Tight end, Mike Gesicki, Cole Kmet. Might hold them back a little bit, but overall I like this team. I do like this team. I'm gonna give Rapper. I'm gonna put Rapper in that B+ to A- range. Yeah, I'm gonna put Rapper in that B+ to A- range. So, all right, that's all the teams. I just wanna order this real quick. So let me see if I can get a pen out. All right, you know what? I'll just use this piece of paper. Fuck it. So I said before that I think Fix had the best team. So I'm gonna call him number 1. I'm going to call ourselves number 2. Number 3, I'm going to say State of Mind. I remember talking about his team. Let's see. Rapper was up there. Beast was in that fringe A range. Guru's a team I liked. Guru, I think I'm going to put Guru 4. Nation, I'm going to put him under Guru. Prophet, I really wasn't feeling that much. Who else? Bear with me, guys. Couch, I liked Couch's team. So maybe Couch 5th. I like Couch's team better than Wolf. And while I'm doing this, guys, let me know what your order is here. I'm going to say Expert. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to say Expert 4th. I'm going to say Guru 5th. I'm going to say Couch 6th. I'm going to say Wolf 7th. Who am I missing here? Nation, Prophet, Beast, and Rapper. So Rapper I do like. I think I'm going to put Rapper 8th. Yeah, Rapper 8th. Rapper's going to be 8th. 9th. Ooh, this is tough. Nation or Prophet. I think I'm going to go Nation over Prophet. And then it's Beast or Nation. I think I like Beast a little better. So I'm going to say Beast. And I'm going to say Nation. Then 11, I'm going to put Prophet. And Smitty, you got the worst team. According to me. You know, that's not according to everyone, just according to me. So I appreciate you guys spending the time to watch this video. The final list of best team to worst team, in my opinion. Fix, I have him at number 1 with that triple chief stack. I have us 2nd. I have State of Mind 3rd. I got Expert 4th, Guru 5th, Couch at 6, Wolf at 7, Rapper at 8. I got Beast at 9, Nation at 10, Prophet at 11, and Smitty at 12. So that's going to do it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. We got the Experts League draft coming up later this month. I'll be sure to do another review on those teams then. So appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.